Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So, let's begin our session with a wonderful quote. Divide and conquer waste, for in fragmentation lies the path to effective elimination. So, for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Namneet Kaur Grover, being your host for today's event, wants to extend a warm greeting and good morning to all of you present here. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today, we will explore the intricacies of waste, understand its impact on our planet, and discover innovative strategies to minimize, repurpose, and eliminate waste from our lives. So, let us embark on this journey of knowledge and inspiration as we seek to transform waste into an opportunity for a cleaner and greener world. On behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on Divide and Conquer Waste, What and Why. And to add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Miss Lakshmi Prabha, it is a great honor to have you with us, ma'am. We are grateful for your presence. Now, let me introduce today's speaker to you all. Lakshmi Prabha, ma'am, is an environmental sustainability coach, a speaker, an author, advisory consultant, and founder of Rent a Cutlery Initiative and Prithvi Mitra Innovations OPC Private Limited, incubated at IIM Bangalore. Her niche is waste management, climate change, environment sustainability, toxin free natural living. She has been an instrument to impact 14,000 plus lives till date. She is certified from University of Maryland in sustainability communication. She is certified in sustainability reporting in ESG. Her second co-authored book is published in April this year is Divinely Gifted, where she has co-authored with 17 wonderful authors. She is an action taker and believer in Mahatma Gandhi's saying, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Her vision is to enable a low waste and toxin free world and impact 10 million lives into environment friendly living. Now, over to you, ma'am.
The introduction. Namaste to all of you. I am grateful to SEMS Foundation for contacting me to do a keynote session today on this wonderful topic that I connect from heart. So, a request is I'll be presenting the PPT and we are going to have a session. Let us make it very interactive by typing it in the chat box when I'm taking the session. And feel free to put your questions as Namneet had requested in the chat box. So can you type in the chat box, what do you see in this picture? Please feel free to type it in the chat box on your perception on what you see from the picture. May I please have your responses? You can quickly type it in the chat box. I would be very happy to see what each of us think seeing this picture. Yes, thank you, Ghanshyam Das. Putting bucket full of liquid in 4 places. Okay, thank you for that. More responses. What do you think you see in this picture? What is really happening? Anyone? Thank you, Ghanshyam, for this. Thank you. Basically, what we see here is there are 4 quadrants, right? Or you can see 4 rooms, maybe, or 4 places. And one person from this place is just pouring out the dump or the liquid into other's place. The other person in that place is actually pouring into the other's place. And the other person from that place is pouring to other's place. Not holding on to their space, but they are just passing on the maybe garbage or maybe unwanted things or maybe liquid into someone else's place. Yeah, we are going to see more on this Why this perception? Maybe a for you to ponder. So today's important topic is divide and conquer waste. My waste, my responsibility. Do we all agree to this sentence? Who is responsible for your waste or the waste that you throw out from your house or office or institution? What do you think? I think there are people from across the world here. So, can I have some responses in the chat box? Who is responsible for your waste? Who do you think? Is it the government? Is it the municipality? Feel free to use the chat box and type out your responses. I see a lot of silence in the room. Let's make it very, very interactive so that, there is a lot of takeaways. For me, also, every session is learning, unlearning, and relearning. Thank you so much. Okay, municipal corporation is responsible for your waste. Thank you so much. Let the responses keep coming. But if 8 million people are going to put, mixed waste completely, the kachra tied in a black cover, what really happens? We are going to see that. So as Namit has already introduced, a quick introduction about myself. I am Lakshmi Prabha, your keynote speaker today, founder of Prithvi Mitra and Rent a Cutlery, author of Suju Learns to be a Green Warrior and Divinely Gifted. I am a Helio Life licensed workshop leader based on Louis Hay philosophy. My venture Prithvi Mitra is incubated at NSR Cell IIM Bangalore, and I hold a certification in ESG Sustainable Reporting and Strategic Communication for Sustainability Leaders from University of Maryland. I believe in conscious consumerism and compassionate living with all coexisting life forms. I have been an instrument to create an awareness and impact more than 14,000 people towards environment friendly living in the last 9 years. Through Rent a Cutlery venture, have been an instrument to reduce more than 2 lakh single use disposable from ending in landfill getting burnt. And I'm on a current journey to inspire more than 10 million people. So what are the services and products offered by Prithvi Mitra? My niche is waste management and toxin-free natural living. I offer advisory consultancy with implementation support with accessible, available solutions suiting the customer requirements, speaker sessions, coaching, workshop, webinars, keynote sessions, B2B gifting on sustainable, environmentally friendly products. So this is the impact created by my company, Prithvi Mitra, on conscious living. Now, when you see these visuals, these are something called as landfills, visuals of landfills. Have any of you come across these visuals in your life? If yes, no, maybe please drop it in the chat box, or you may have seen it in the news, or you may have actually visited in your life, or you may have come across in social media. Please feel free to type it in the chat box. Have you come across this kind of visuals? Thank you, Namneet. Namneet says yes. Yes, Ghanshyam says yes at Kanpur. And these are visuals that I just picked up from the Google images from Ghaziabad landfill and Chennai Perungudi landfill. Okay. And you can see in the second right top picture, there is a liquid, black liquid here. This is called the leachate, which is a toxic liquid from the mixed waste, which is dumped here. If you see, all plastic waste, food waste, sanitary waste, every kind of waste is actually mixed and it has been dumped here. So what really happens is when we do not, we are not aware and we just throw the waste from our house just to clear or keep our house clean out into the open, matlab to your, waste collector, and then it gets disposed like this, the earth, water, and air gets totally polluted. In fact, 2014, the year 2014 was the turning point in my life where a TV reality show which showed how a household garbage, is dumped in a beautiful village outside Bangalore called Mandur and Mavallipura, completely spoiled or polluted the fertile villages or because of the mixed waste, and how the people there were getting infected. Children were born with defects. The fertile land was, had died, unable to produce new farming produce, all because the city's waste, without taking responsibility there, has been dumped into another person's space. It's an absolute display of not in my backyard attitude. Well, that marked the opening up of the change maker in me, where I started seeing how I can be the change, how my family can be the change. Instead of pointing fingers at the government, at the municipality, or at my apartment association, I pointed the finger at me and my family, taking the onus to see how can I be the solution. Do you think if problems are there, don't you think the solution will be there? What do you think? Please share your thought processing in the chat box. Let's make it very, very interactive. I do not want here to talk to an empty room, but I'm sure every one of us has that something to share, something to learn. Let's put it out in the chat box to learn from each other. What do you think, guys? Yeah. So that marked the turning point of my life. And this data, what I'm presenting, have you ever thought? Yes, Ghanshyam sir says waste management in house itself. Thank you so much for responding, sir. Thank you so much. Wonderful. We're going to see how we are going to do. There may be some of you who would be doing this. We are going to see how. So, have you ever wondered, the per day waste generated in your city? By the way, type it in the chat box from which all city or which parts of the world you are all there. The participants here are present. Please type it in the chat box, your city or your town or your village or your country. Please type it in the chat box. Lucknow. Okay, thank you. I'm from Bangalore and there are others probably. Please type it off which city you are all from. So have you wondered what is the waste generated per day in your city? In fact, in Bangalore, the per day waste generation is around 5,000 tons per day. This is about 1 or 2 years ago. This is the data as per 2021. Okay, and Bangalore, thank you, Namneet. Namneet says Uttar Pradesh. In fact, Bangalore is a small city. Imagine this much tons of waste. Where is the space to really take it if it's going to be done? With a steady inflow of people coming into the city for work, for their life, and so many things, for study and so many things, when there is a shortage of spaces happening, we are generating so much. Isn't it alarming? This is Bangalore. In fact, if you go and visit your municipality website, you would be able to see what is the per day waste generation in your place. Okay, so that day I did one keynote for the northeastern regions seminar. In fact, in a place called Siliguri, it's about 500 to 600 tons, 450 to 500 tons per day waste generation. Like that, in your city, please check it out how much it is. So we have been talking about the problem of the garbage specifically. So today it's only about garbage problem and its solution. Do you know why? In fact, the global warming that we're all talking about, the climate change that we're all getting a pinch of it every day with so much of floods happening all around us, droughts happening in other parts of the world, and the polar bears and other ecosystems, natural ecosystems being spoiled because of the human consumerism. right? And in fact, the unsegregated garbage or unsegregated waste is the fifth largest carbon emission creator or generator, which causes global warming. Can you believe it? Yeah, which is very much in our hands. In our hands as a consumer to take part, being the change. So that's what we're going to see. So, what is the solution for this garbage? I don't have time. I have to put in a dustbin and send. But imagine how easy it would be to one person each house to source segregate rather than a whole bunch of a city's waste being inhumanly segregated by the workers or the community helpers there on the ground. It's going to be very tough, and it is very tough. On the ground situation is really bizarre. Yeah. So divide and conquer, a very beautiful solution that we are going to see here of how to divide and conquer waste into three types. As per Swachh Bharat mission, which was released in 2014 on source segregation, apart from the handling the open defecation, so solid waste management came into picture. And the rule of the country came in 2016 saying that every household, every institution, every company, every business should segregate their waste minimum into two types, they say. In Karnataka, we do three types, which is very fair enough because of the types that we're going to see. Organic waste. First is your organic waste, which comprises of all your fruits, vegetable peels, your food waste, your peels, your flowers, garden waste, everything that is biodegradable. So organic or kitchen waste is something, the items that has come from the soil, that are degradable. Dear all, please type it in the chat box. What do you think? If an item has come from the soil, where has it to go back? Where should it go back? Should it go back into the dustbin? Should it go back, for example, food waste, or take vegetable peel waste that you are peeling? Where should it go? Thank you so much, sir. To soil, says sir. What do you think? Feel free to type it in the chat box. All the things coming from the soil, the life cycle has to complete. It has to go back into the soil. If we mix with the plastic and send it to the landfill, is when the leachate, which is toxic, comes, is when the whole land, water, air is polluted. Yeah. So organic, that is why it has to be separated. Each type of waste is a resource and it has a destination to go. Landfill is not a destination. Yes, no, maybe. Are you able to connect to it? It may seem simple. It may not seem a problem that matters, but it's very much a problem that matters to each one of us in the world. Yeah. Recyclable waste, which is paper, plastic, glass, metal, all these things which can be recyclable, but not everything is recyclable. There are high value waste which is recyclable. There is low value waste which is not recyclable. So what are these low value waste? The thin plastic cover, which is actually banned as per single use plastic ban that is existing in our country, India. And the Tetra Packs, the technology to recycle is very difficult, but there are some organizations who do, but the recycling facilities are not that much. The chips wrapper, the chocolate wrappers, the kurkure packets, these are all multi-layer packaging. The atta packet, they're all multi-layer packaging, which has both metal and plastic mixed together. So it's very difficult to remove them and recycle. So what happens is, if you see a Radiwala near your place, if you do not have a municipality collecting it, if you are handing over to Radiwala, the low value waste will not be collected by them because it will not fetch them money. So what it ends in getting burnt outside your street. Okay. And third type of waste is sanitary waste or the reject waste, which is diapers, sanitary napkins, broken blades, broken glass, bandages, etc. Whichever comes in contact with the human body and which is harmful. So these three types of waste have their individual destination where it has to go. When mixed, the waste cannot be fixed. So what does a kitchen waste comprise of? It comprises about 65% of the garbage that you generate in your house. And what all it comprises of? Fruit peels, vegetable peels, eggshells, flowers, small garden waste, twigs, etc. So what can be really done with it is something we are going to see. 35% of your waste, which is actually dry waste, is your milk cover, your curd cover, plastic bottles, glass, newspapers, etc. Ideally, when you are separating or segregating and putting, the milk cover and the curd cover needs to be rinsed, dried, and then put the next day. Why? If every house takes care of these small things, actually it is very hygienic. The stickiness of the curd or milk is not there. It doesn't invite mosquitoes, cockroaches, rats, or diseases when you clean it and put. If you're going to not clean it and put, imagine 1,000 covers mixing together, smelling. So we invite the diseases that exist in the world as humans. So this small step of rinsing and drying definitely helps. And one more tip, as I'm talking about dry waste, is do not cut your milk cover in the corner completely so that that small piece gets wasted. Always make sure that you keep that corner, that corner of your milk cover or curd cover intact so that that whole packet gets recycled. Your sanitary waste is about 5% of the waste that you generate at a home level. And these numbers are published in a white paper by Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So, what exactly can we do with 65% of your kitchen waste? It's a huge, right? It's a majority portion of the waste that you generate. Yeah. And it is a rich resource. Yeah. So it can be either converted into a compost, as you see, which is a rich manure and makes our land fertile with with increasing concretization, with increased population, the topsoil, which is called humus, which actually aids in plant growth, is being washed off because of lack of nutrients. And as we compost and add more nutrition to the soil, the better it is for us. So whatever we are going to give is going to come back to us. So the dry waste is actually to be handed over separately to the dry waste collector so that it can be sent to the right recycling unit. Here, I would like to share a stats as well as ask you a question. Do you know in the last 30, 40 years, with the advent of plastic, about 7.2 billion tons of plastic that was actually created, less than 10% has been recycled. Only less than 10%. What do you think has happened to the rest of the 90%? Any guesses? Here, I would like to pause for a moment. I would like to see some responses in the chat box. Have you come across the study? Have you thought about it? Any guesses of the number? What would have happened to the remaining 90%, dear participants? I would like to see some answers here. Going to see, says sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Yes, definitely we see the oceans and marine getting polluted. We have heard of the Great Garbage Patch, which is a huge concern. We also see the seas around our places, around our cities, around the country, puking out plastic waste, with every wave that is coming. And okay, and also we see our street corners being burnt with and choking with plastic. We see stormwater drain completely choked with plastic. What happens when a rain comes? The stormwater drain chokes and the city gets flooded, isn't it? So it's all how we as a consumer, you, me, everyone as a consumer contributes, right? Now, the sanitary waste, ideally, scientifically, it has to be, it goes for incineration, but unfortunately, it does get burnt. And I strongly believe in this quote that if I have to see a change in the environment, in the world in front of me, I have to be the change. Do we agree to this? I mean, what do you think? Yes, no, maybe. We can always, have a pointing hands. We can always have a complaining voice saying, this is not right, that is not right, and all those things. But if you really want to see a change in the world, a better world, a cleaner world, you have to be the change that you want to see in the world. I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. So, what are the simple steps of change that you can do? We saw how to divide and conquer waste. We saw what can be done, how is the resource it can be converted to. But what are the simple steps of the change that you and me as a consumer can do? Simple. Can we all carry our own water bottles and say no to disposables, no to single use bottles? Is it possible for us to do? Is it possible for us to do? Yes, no, maybe. Can I have some responses? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. This is one of the webinars where it is really silent, but I assume it's adding value to you. I'll be waiting for the questions also as we go. Simple step of change, carry your own water bottle. It's easy to say that I just take the mineral water bottle, use and throw, use and throw, use and throw. Just now I shared a stats of what happens to the 90% of the waste which is not getting recycled. Yeah. So simple step, whether it is inside your city, outside your city, inside the country or outside the country, please carry your own water bottle and say no to single use disposable, say yes to reusables. Carry your own shopping bag, yeah, reusable shopping bag whenever you're going out for shopping or whenever you're going out, whether it is inside the city, outside the city, inside the country, outside the country, always have a set of bags. Shopping has become an integral part of it. The needs and wants is a different story and topic altogether. But you can do the simple step of change, maybe incorporate it, which is a huge impact that you will be contributing towards the environment. Simple steps of change. Bring your own cutlery. Does it sound very, what you're feeling like? What is Lakshmi telling? Bring your own reusable cutlery. It's very easy to, go for a paper cup, maybe. I hope you're able to see this. Are you able to see this? Paper cup? Yes, paper cup, right? It's very easy to use it and throw. And how many of you here think this is eco-friendly? Please type it in the chat box. Is this eco-friendly? Yes, no, maybe. I'll wait for your answers. We have 22 people here actually, and I would appreciate responses from all of you here. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe, or I don't know. It's okay. Please type it in the chat box. Thank you so much. Yes, says someone. Maybe says someone. Yes, I need more answers. I'm not moving ahead from the slide. I'm not moving ahead with my keynote unless I see more responses. Do you think paper cup is eco-friendly? Yes, no, maybe, not sure. There are 4 options. Just type it out in the chat box. I've received only 3 responses. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know or not sure. Yeah. No, says someone. Okay, thank you for the responses coming in. I need more responses. I need more responses. Do you think this paper cup is eco-friendly? And this is rampantly being used everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to show you something. This is a paper cup which is scraped. Can you see? Can you see a thin plastic layer? Yeah, here I've scraped the paper and there is a thin plastic layer in the paper cup. Do this activity post the session. You will be shocked to know that paper cup is not really only paper, but it also has plastic. And the inner, part of the paper cup actually is coated with plastic. So it's both harmful to the people health and the planet health. And it is a huge polluter because we don't have that much recycling facility to pull this paper and plastic separately and then send it for recycling. And do you know what this paper is made of? This is made from virgin pulp, which means cutting trees. Yeah. And trees are oxygen givers, right? And we all are aware of how important oxygen is. And with COVID that has hit us for 2 to 3 years, 2 years, um, we have understood, probably we would have understood the value of oxygen. Yeah. 17 trees are cut to make 1 ton of paper. And what do? We use and throw. We use and throw just for that few seconds or few minutes. So ideally, as a consumer, what can I do to change this? Use your own reusable cutlery if you're going to an office, if you are in an institution, if you're going for a conference. Proudly carry your own cup. Yeah, can we do this? Is it very difficult? Can we carry our own cup? Possible? Yes. No, maybe. Come on, let me have some responses here. Can we carry our own cup? If torn jeans can become a fashion, don't you think this is a proud moment for each one of us as a consumer, not to be a trash generator? Yeah. Take your own reusable cup. Make it a trend. Use hashtag BYOC in your Instagram, in your Facebook, wherever. Just make it pride. You start being the change. Automatically, that change ripples to the entire system around you. Yeah. If there is a party or a puja or an event, any event, say no to single-use disposables. Say yes to reusables. If you're a community, if you're an institution, if you're a corporate, please invest in reusable cutleries for your people or for the guest. In fact, my venture, another initiative, Rent a Cutlery, that I started along with my friend, provides reusable cutleries for parties, events, and function. And we have inspired many cutlery banks to come up across India. Yeah, it is possible. We have bandar houses in India, and we have rental options maybe in other parts of the world. If it's not, let us start it. Yeah, make it a trend because we do not have more space to trash. Okay, and there is a stats that is very shocking that says in the way that we are consuming as consumers, we need 1.6 times the earth in the rate we are consuming. Can we afford it? Can we really afford it? Is something we have to think about. So the way to go is reduce, reuse. Recycle comes last, as we do not have so much of facility for the growing and exploding population in the world. Start today, and you can start taking action now. Time is ripe. No step of change is big or small, but that simple step of change definitely matters. You know, there is a saying by Lao Tzu, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. That single step of change matters. We reap what we sow, isn't it? When we give good, we get the good. We're going to sow the bad things. That is what is going to come. Now, can you connect with the first picture? that was shown. Yeah, not in my backyard attitude. Someone keeps throwing the garbage in others' backyard. Finally, it comes back to them. Yeah. So, what are you sowing? I'm very excited and all ears to listen and hear out what are you sowing. Yeah. Or if you're already doing your step of change, please do let us know in the chat box. Okay. I'm happy to share. These are the two books that I have authored and co-authored. I have authored Suju Learns to be a Green Warrior, forward written by Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, who has written 22 books on Chanakya, Chanakya teachings and Chanakya learnings. And, this book is for children aged 5 to 10 on waste segregation. I intend this book to be added in the primary school curriculum because from young age, it's a grassroots level penetration. If we can bring in this concept in their lives, they will bloom into responsible citizens. Divinely Gifted is a co-authored book by me. I have written this book along with 17 other authors, and this is an Amazon bestseller. Thank you so much. Signing off. This is Lakshmi Prabha. Please. Thank you so much, everyone. Now the floor is open to questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, there are a few questions which our audience want to be answered. So with your permission, shall we proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the first question is, how can technology and innovation contribute to the successful implementation of divide and conquer strategy in waste management?
So at a municipal level, when we are able to, definitely we have to be abreast of the new age. For example, if the segregated waste is there, a technology to sort the waste through, there are multiple systems that I'm seeing at the municipal level, at the corporate level, which are being implemented. So definitely a technology either to at the ground level or maybe even at the collection level can definitely help in easing or maybe encouraging this problem. In fact, I'm seeing ventures who are trying to even sort out the waste even before putting it into the dustbin. So there are multiple innovations happening. We have to see how practically it can be implemented so that we can achieve this divide and conquer and see a cleaner world. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is, how does breaking down waste management into smaller, manageable parts help in addressing a broader waste problems more effectively?
Can you please repeat because I lost your voice, Navneet?
Okay, ma'am. Am I audible now?
Yeah, the slight lag is there, but yes, you're audible.
All right. So the next question was, how does breaking down waste management into smaller, manageable parts help in addressing?
Definitely decentralizing according to your ward level of a smaller population. For example, in Bangalore, we have about 198 wards, with a certain amount of population. So each ward actually ideally will have a dry waste collection center. And ideally, if a micro composting site like in Chennai we have is there, it's very easy to decentralize and manage the waste rather than managing a huge system of waste at a bigger level. So definitely the divide and conquer or smaller part fragmentation helps in effective management of waste in that small clusters so that we contribute better, more efficiently and more effectively.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is, how can local communities and individuals contribute to the success of divide and conquer strategy in waste management? Are there any specific actions that we can take?
Absolutely. Everyone is a change maker. And that's how I started in 2014 as an individual citizen. Okay. And then as I believed in being the change, As a family, when we started segregating and also composting, in fact, I would like to share, I was shocked. We as a family were shocked to see how much food we were wasting, how much processed food we were actually hogging, or I would say hogging from the supermarket. And that started reducing. So, because we became conscious of what is really going into the dustbin. And then with plastic waste, we were generating so much of covers because we were simply going and buying every week from supermarket, which was not needed for us. So that consciousness started from first stage itself from our house. So once I saw that as a family, we were contributing or impacting the world, that is when I decided to go outside of my house and create this awareness in the community. So, yes, first start the change with you by segregating your waste and composting your wet waste, which is not a rocket science. Even a single balcony or a window aisle is enough with the ventilation for you to start the composting, to reduce that 60% of waste from not going to landfill. Start from there. Once, there is a saying that says, when the student is ready, master appears. That happened to me. When I was ready, I started getting mentors. I started connecting to citizen organizations working for civic communities, waste management. I got connected to citizen groups working very actively and aggressively for waste management. You will get connected and you will be a change for a huge system. So start the change from you. Once you start the change, then people will get inspired from you. Then you would be able to say, hey, look, this is the change I've got, and this is the impact that I've created. This many kgs of waste I have kept away from landfill. So can you. Unless you do, you cannot tell others. That's very clear. Yeah. Only we can preach what we practice, isn't it? So be the change and slowly, yes, you can contribute. There are multiple ways to.
Definitely, ma'am. As you said, that be the change.
Yeah.
So, with this whole session for 1 hour, I think our audience have learned many new things from you. This was very effective for our audience. I hope our audience will one day be the change for the environment. So,
Awesome.
thank you so much, ma'am, for answering each and every question. Once again, I would like to thank you all for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. Please follow on our social media and subscribe YouTube channel for new learnings. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being there with us. So stay connected for new learnings. I, Namneet Kaur Grover, your host for the day, signing off. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone, for joining.